Hello, and welcome to class. I'm Dr. Greg Parsons, and in the following few minutes I'm going to be walking you through this week's assignments. Now I know the instructions are written in the Blackboard class for this week. However, in my experience it's useful to have some additional explanations or clarifications about some of the items that you may find confusing, and you don't want to start working off in the wrong direction and have me say, well, that really wasn't the assignment. So I think in the long run, spending a few minutes talking about what the assignments are and what my expectations are will both save us both some time and some effort. I also provide you with some hints and tips about what is coming up in the future weeks, so that as you prepare this week's work, you can apply it to future work. So again, a twofold objective here. So far I found that the class is moving right along. We're going in the right direction, and the work that you're turning in is improving. The discussion posts are getting more robust and interactive, which I have commented upon in the rubrics, and also the papers are getting more insightful, showing more creative thinking. Both of these are improvements. Now, we're not finished yet. We have more to accomplish, more improvements can be gained, but for the most part, things are moving in the right direction. Now, as to the mechanics of your papers, the writing, the grammar, the spelling, the reference lists, those all seem to be coming right along, and you won't find many comments or many errors in your papers anymore. So, if you find during this presentation that you would like a printed copy of what's in there, pause the video and make a print screen from your computer. This can then be saved or can be printed out on a printer. Of course, you won't have the melodious sound of my voice serenading you through the slides, but you can always come back to the video and listen to me again if you get lonely. So, sit back for the next few minutes and get ready for this week's class. If you have any questions, comments about the video or about what's coming up this week in the class, you can get in touch with me through Ask Questions in the Classroom, email, and also text and cell phones, using the numbers that are available in the classroom. So, until next time, goodbye and good luck. The Week 6 assignment is listed here, and we have some new readings, some new articles that you need to read from the EBSCO host database in the Kaiser University Library. By this time you should have read both your textbooks, Managing in Organizations and also Leading and Communication. The assignment for this week is a little bit light. You have a discussion post that you'll need to participate in, but there are no papers. So I'd like to see a thorough discussion post, but also we need to start preparing as we're approaching the end of class for the assignments that are coming up. So the Week 6 discussion topic is to choose a dominant leader, somebody from the news that everybody in class would be either able to recognize or be able to get some information about. And the idea is to describe whether this particular leader, in your opinion, has the appropriate level of skill, influence, power, abilities, experience to be able to fill the shoes that the particular role requires. Do they make good decisions? Are they able to handle the level of authority and responsibility that their organization requires of them? So, you're going to be looking at particular leaders in particular companies, make sure that again they're recognizable, and I'm going to take off the table political leaders so that we're not describing our preference for Republicans or Democrats. I think that doesn't really get us anywhere. I'd like you to stick to organizations outside of the political sphere. And you're going to need to choose an organizational leader where you can learn a little bit about the organization's internal structure and the environment that they are operating within. You're going to be then using relevant literature from your textbooks and from your readings to support your particular conclusions. Hopefully you're able to find somebody that's a little more successful in the modern world than Darth Vader. Now, we're going to be looking ahead to week 7 and week 8 because this week has a fairly light assignment, but we know that that only means it's going to be heavier in the upcoming weeks as we approach the end of this particular class. Looking ahead, week 7 next week is going to require a 5 to 7 page paper on a well-known successful company other than where you work and that's involved in global businesses, and you're going to be talking about their particular strategies, how they went global, how successful they were, the critical issues in moving into a external and an international environment. So that's coming up, and you should be aware that that is going to be on the agenda for week number 7. Keys to success for this week. When you're choosing your leader for your discussion post, make sure you choose somebody that everybody in class will be able to either recognize or easily find some information about, so we can respond to the leader that you're discussing. Do not choose a leader from a political arena. I think it's too controversial. I think we're going to like certain leaders and not other leaders in the political area. I would like you to choose somebody from the business world or a religious leader or something that's outside of the political arena. A couple examples that I just pulled up. Marissa Myers, who is the new CEO of Yahoo, has been in the news quite a bit because of, number one, Yahoo changing leadership away from the original founders to hiring a new CEO, and also the obvious fact that it's a woman running a high-tech company, which again in history has been a little bit unusual. Another example, because of Steve Jobs' death, the new CEO for Apple Computer is Tim Cook, and there's been a lot of controversy in the news about whether he is carrying the torch forward of innovation in Apple. Another example might be Jamie Dimon from J.P. Morgan, who again has been in the news a fair amount over the past year as one of the big surviving banks from the financial debacle of 2008 and 2009, and some of the decisions that he's made. So again, you don't have to choose one of these three, but choose again somebody that we will be able to recognize or find information about, somebody that you can find information about their organization and their leadership abilities. Do not choose a political leader. So Obama, Chris Christie, Rick Scott, John Boehner, those are off limits. And add enough detail about the organizational background, about the company or organization you're describing, so that a leader or a reader who's not familiar with it will be able to understand what your position is and what your conclusions are. Okay. If you have any further questions about this week's assignment, you know how to get in touch with me. Goodbye and good luck.